Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. The all-new 2018 Kona by Hyundai, available at Cars Plus. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Coming up on your primetime news, the cases in the church sex abuse scandal head to federal court. Plus, an internal affairs investigation is underway after an inmate was found dead at the Department of Corrections. And abolish less essential agencies. This, as leaders say, government reorganization is not enough to resolve the current fiscal crisis. Today, my friends, and good evening. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Because the Catholic Church may be on a path towards healing, but just days after the Vatican issued a verdict on Bishop Anthony Apparon, more than 160 clergy sexual abuse cases had their day in court.
While a majority are on track for out-of-court settlement, one group is not and wants to get a stay on their cases lifted so they may proceed to trial. Crystal Paco reports.
About 95% of the clergy's sexual abuse lawsuits are on track for settlement. One group, however, isn't. During a joint status hearing on Tuesday, attorney Anthony Perez told the court their position hasn't changed since the last hearing in January. The deal breaker, how mediation will be handled. The church, attorney Perez previously told media, wants global mediation, whereas his 11 clients want their cases handled individually. He reported to the court, quote, "I don't see the church defendants budging on protocol," end quote. Archdiocese of Agana stateside legal counsel Michael Patterson telling media otherwise, that each case will be evaluated on its own terms, singularly.
I certainly intend to meet with him in the next 2 weeks to certainly try to work out any differences that he feels are an impediment to his participation in the mediation process. You will not find the word global in the mediation protocol.
What does this mean for plaintiffs? Will a rape victim be addressed differently from those who don't allege penetration occurred?
Hypothetically, yes.
While attorney Perez is anticipated to file a motion to lift the stay on his cases, which would put him on track for trial, depositions will start as early as Wednesday for everyone else. First up, plaintiffs represented by attorney Michael Berman, then attorney Kevin Fowler, and by mid-April, depositions are expected to start for attorney David Lujan's clients, who represents a majority of the filings. The plan is to have mediation in September.
We are going forward with the mediation, and in all due deference to Mr. Perez, certainly I've indicated to him that he's invited to the mediation process. That we would like to take the sworn statements of his clients so we can evaluate his cases just like we evaluate any other case, but that we are fully prepared to have him participate. He's indicated that we would not budge, but I can tell you that we have revised that pre-mediation protocol numerous times.
Revisions were made as recent as Monday night. That's why some parties, including attorney Jackie Terlahi, who represents Archbishop Anthony Apparon, want more time to review before committing to settlement.
Our participation in mediation has always been about cost. That one of the problems that many plaintiffs, small plaintiffs and small defendants have in a large suit like this is simply the cost factor in litigating 160 different cases.
Apparon, meanwhile, was recently found guilty of certain of the accusations in a year-long canonical trial in Rome. Attorney Terlahi advised the court this matter should be kept out of Apparon's 5 civil cases. After all, there's just too little information on the Vatican's ruling. Attorney Patterson agreed, stating those matters are, quote, purely canonical, end quote. A return hearing will be scheduled for mid-May. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
And we're going to stay with clergy sex abuse lawsuits now, as another civil suit was filed earlier today, this time against deceased Capuchin priest Father Leon Murphy, otherwise known as Warren. According to court documents, the 63-year-old plaintiff, only identified by his initials to protect his privacy, alleges he was fondled and groped by the priest when he was a teen. The incident occurred in the rectory's living room. The person, known as KB, who wanted to be a priest, was a seminarian at the time. When he was alone with the priest, KB alleges the priest pulled him onto his lap, began hugging him, and asked if he was cold. That's when the priest allegedly slipped his hands into the boy's underwear and fondled and groped him. The priest then pushed KB off his lap and picked up a newspaper when another seminarian entered the room. When the two boys were instructed to leave the rectory, KB recalls the other seminarian asking what had happened, then confessed that Father Murphy had done the same thing to him. KB is suing for $5 million.
An inmate who was also a former warden at the Department of Corrections was found dead inside his cell. Corrections officers found 74-year-old Joaquin San Nicolas Baza unresponsive around 6 this morning at the Post 3 Medical Housing Unit. Officials say he was the only one inside the cell and that officers had just conducted checks of the unit half an hour before he was found dead. DEPCOR Director Tony Lamarena says the preliminary investigation does not show any signs of foul play. He believes the inmate died of natural causes, but an autopsy is scheduled to confirm how he died. Lamarena says an internal affairs investigation is underway. Now, it was in 2012 the former DOC warden was sentenced to 13 years in prison after he admitted to molesting a girl multiple times. The abuse started when the child was only 5 years old.
And while the investigation into this latest death at the prison is ongoing, it's incidents like these that have the Public Safety Oversight Chairperson urging the federal government to investigate DOC.
But the lingering struggles that the prison has the department's director calling for her removal as their legislative chair. It's the second law enforcement leader to make that request in recent days. KUAM's Nick Delgado has the story.
A second public safety agency is calling for Senator Talina Nelson to be replaced as its oversight chair. DOC Director Tony Lamarena sent a letter to Speaker B.J. Cruz.
We're not a perfect system. We're an old facility. And, we need the help of our lawmakers to help us improve the facility. It's easy to throw knives at someone, but you need to work with us to better improve the facility. We can't do it on our own.
Lamarena says Nelson has done little but ridicule them and point out what she perceives to be failures.
And the director's request comes at the same time their oversight chair has called for the Justice Department to investigate the prison.
To look into DOC if any civil rights has been violated, and also to take a look at the operating procedures, the logs that they do, the death of one inmate and the beating of another. And so these things have been happening consecutively.
We welcome any positive input.
It was just last week Guam Police Department's Chief of Police J.I. Cruz sent a similar letter to the Speaker calling for Nelson's removal as the Public Safety Committee chair.
We need an individual that's going to work with us, that's going to try to help us. I was an oversight chair, and I always called in my agencies ask them what the issues were, how can I best help you? Because really the success of your department is also the success of your oversight chair.
Would you say you lost faith in her as a leader?
Well, we haven't really seen anything from her office that will bring us any assistance or any positive light.
However, Nelson continues to stand her ground, urging Lamarena and the other law enforcement agency leaders to work with her rather than against.
The issue is that there's a budgetary shortfall. The real issue is that people are dying in DOC, and the officers need more personnel. They need more training, and so those are the real issues. I do see a positive outlook. We address the challenges that they're having. We work together to make the changes. We work together to find resources. I do believe that there's positive and there's good that can come out of this, because in all challenges and anything comes into the light, we'll be able to address it.
As for the request to remove Nelson from her position,
Senator Nelson, as their oversight chair, is that possible?
No. Unlike the U.S. Congress, the chairpersons of committees are elected by the caucus.
A decision that he says can only be made by the senator herself. However, the request has Cruz stunned as he says Nelson has fought to get the public safety agencies what they need.
It's ironic that these two are the ones that are complaining about it, because she stood up for them. She's been standing up for them. So I should hope that they don't do their investigations the same way, and they should have looked at the history and they would have known that she is their greatest defender.
Senator Nelson, who has since scheduled a series of informational briefings to talk with law enforcement agencies about their needs, has said she isn't going anywhere. Reporting for Guam's News Network, Guahusi, Nick Delgado.
We got a story for you now that's already making its way around social media, and for good reason, because it is a zero-tolerance policy over at Hemlani Harmon Apartments, just right down the road from us. A memo to the beleaguered facilities tenants issued today advises anyone caught using slingshots will be evicted. The memo follows a viral social media post warning residents to stay away from the apartment complex at night. That post alleges tenants are sharpening coins and hitting passers-by with slingshots. Now, though no reports of slingshots have been made recently, landlord Vinod Hemlani tells KUAM News they are working with local police on the matter. And it's worth noting, of course, that in December, Joseph Sagdal reported going to the apartment complex and being hit in the face with a slingshot for unknown reasons. After he was hit, court documents state he reached into his back seat and then grabbed a gun. He opened fire on his alleged attackers, 2 of whom were killed. Sagdal heads to trial later this year for the double homicide.
Officials confirm it was cocaine that washed up on shore and forced an emergency evacuation at Hawaiian Rock headquarters in Manila over the weekend. Edward Talbot, resident agent in charge of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration on Guam, confirms they seized 2-kilogram packages of 4 pounds of suspected cocaine, hydrogen chloride. The investigation is ongoing, but he is thankful for cooperation from local authorities, cautioning the public that if they ever come in contact with a suspicious package, they report it immediately.
The head of public health in other news says senior citizens at St. Dominic's won't be forced to find a new home just yet. Acting Director Leo Casil says they've yet to complete their audit, and the letter by St. Dominic's administration was, quote, misconstrued. As we reported, this letter stated the MIP contract between public health and the senior facility was removed and at least 12 residents to be found non-eligible and would be displaced from the Barragata Heights facility come Easter. Yet public health says they're in the first stage of case management and no one is getting kicked out. Casil says there is a process in place where public health works with providers to find a solution. Their jobs to make sure senior citizens under MIP meet eligibility requirements. Now, as of news time, one of the administrators, Sister Manaloto, remains unavailable for comment.
An outbreak of mumps in Hawaii puts Guam on high alert. The Department of Public Health and Social Services says they're monitoring the situation. According to the latest report, Hawaii has seen 929 cases since 2017, and CDC found cases nationwide. Just last month, Public Health also reported an alarming number of measles cases in Davao City, Philippines. Public Health recommends persons traveling to Hawaii or affected areas get the MMR vaccine for mumps and measles at least 2 weeks before departing to prevent the disease from hopping islands.
All right, everybody, we are going to take a break, but please keep watching and keep streaming because we continue with Prime Time when we return after this.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
This is pollock, and this is pollock, but they're totally different. One is pollock South Dakota, and the other is real wild-caught Alaska pollock from a certified sustainable fishery. And that's the pollock you'll find in the McDonald's Filet of Fish. So, no matter where you are, you can always get real fish caught sustainably from here. So let's review. This is that one place called pollock, this is real wild-caught Alaska pollock, and this is who can bring it all together, sourced from a sustainable fishery. And it's delicious.
Cars Plus and Mighty has the trucks. And during Ram Truck Month, save up to $97.50 on new Ram trucks. Cars Plus has a great selection of 2018 Ram trucks. Plus, shop our remaining 2017 Ram 1500s. Voted Guam's best truck 2 years in a row. The Ram truck comes with a 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty. And with 1.99 APR financing for qualified buyers, there's no better time to buy than now. It's Ram Truck Month, and only Cars Plus and Mighty has the trucks. Cars Plus, driven by you.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family. We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
Join the most excellent of egg hunts at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam on Tuesday, March 27 from 3 to 7 p.m. Pre-register for the right age group in one of the 4 egg hunts per hour. Call 647-4544 or stop in the restaurant and sign up at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam.
More ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
Welcome back, my friends. Government reorganization is not enough to resolve the current fiscal crisis.
Jason, a new report by the Legislature's Office of Finance and Budget finds that abolishing less essential agencies would only save the general fund about 3%. Nestor Lecanto takes a closer look.
Under the recently passed government bailout bill to address a $67 million drop in tax revenue, the governor has the authority to reorganize agencies to cut costs. But Appropriations Chairman and Speaker B.J. Cruz says an OFB analysis shows that 65% of the general fund budget goes to the top priorities of education, health, and public safety. Debt service takes up another big chunk, leaving little else to slash.
I just wanted a study to show that and to finally get everybody to understand that. Yes, maybe we might want to go back into this 65% and look at it, but please just understand that these poor little agencies down here make up a very, very small portion of the budget.
Instead of eliminating agencies, the Speaker has proposed raising taxes on alcohol and tobacco and also floated a hike in property taxes in hopes of fending off a 2% general sales tax scheduled for October. Cruz also suggests shifting existing personnel to where they are more needed.
Why can't we do that kind of detailing to assist the help revenue and taxation, collect all the money that's outstanding, and hopefully be able to realize the revenue that we need to overcome this Trump Tax Act. There's obviously major leakage. I mean, it's a mainline break, and we've got to figure out how to be able to take care of that.
The Speaker is calling for a special economic service meeting for April 3rd to discuss their options. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
It's another call to give back excess federal property. Congresswoman Madeline Berdallo has introduced the Guam Land Return Act, which authorizes the no-cost transfer of federal land to Guam. The bill identifies unreimbursed compact impact money as the offset in order to comply with federal budget rules. It also requires the Defense Department to reduce its land holdings to less than what it had in 2011, a policy agreement known as the Net Negative Commitment. According to a news release, more than 1,000 acres of federal land has been returned since Berdallo took office in 2003.
A 2% general sales tax is in the midst of Guam's future. While the plans for its execution are still being drawn up, Senator Fernando Esteves introduced his Bill 236 Monday, outlining exemptions to the tax.
It provides exemptions for food, baby products, as well as prescription medications.
Additionally, he proposes exemptions to feminine hygiene products, real property purchases under $400,000, vehicle trade-ins, and casual purchases like at the flea market. His proposed legislation also mentions online purchases currently holding a 4% use tax that's only applied to businesses and not to personal use.
On the same day,
still going to need additional language to reinforce that. I propose to exempt the 4% use tax already applied to those same purchases. So in fact, instead of a 6% tax that we'd be seeing on purchases, it will now just be a 2%.
Okay, just a clarification, the Senator Esteves' bill was 263. I said 236, so it's 263. And on the same day, Senator Regine Biscoe-Lee introduced a similar bill, 264, the Working Families Act. It exempts basic needs from being taxed.
Well, as you know, we here at KUAM take pride in the local culture, and for Chamorro month, we will put our team to the test.
We are celebrating the history and culture by showing you our island's traditional ways in our weekly special, Celebra y Chamorro. Kiani Mendiola has our latest installment.
From the mighty laddie stones to the most intricate pieces of jewelry,
The traditional practice of carving is one that requires much patience, skill, and a tasteful eye, a practice that was once vital to the lives of the ancient Chamorros. Used to create shelter, tools, and money for daily life, has now transformed into a rare art used by few. Sina Greg Pangilinan first taught himself to carve when he was just 13 years old, and originally it was just to pass the time.
When I was, doing a land surveyor way back during my younger age, so I started carving, carving on a big trunk, big trees, like that.
And he still continues his art this very day. Much of his work has been showcased at numerous events, including the Festival of the Pacific. His attention to detail and intricate pieces have been widely acclaimed, awarding him with the title of Master Carver in 2010.
I guess, just the work that I do, like I first started with bone. I make a bone village out of cow bone. Then I started working with the giant clams, making sinais, making everything, anything that comes into my mind. Then I become a blacksmith. Again, then I even carve on metals. Yeah, that's why I guess that's why I become a master carver.
Bone, clamshells, basalt, horns, coconut, just a couple of the raw materials used to carve, all of which he uses to teach his apprentices, including his own son, Glenn Pangilinan. He was inspired by his father to learn the trade 8 years ago and even creates his own pieces.
I make like sinais, plumeria flowers, hooks. There's plain hooks, and then there's some with like KUAM on it, or lady stones, whatever I can come up with.
The end result is beautiful, but as he puts it, that's because of the laborious work that comes with it. He shows us his process step by step.
All the step goes is, once I get my clam up on my cutter, my 14-inch cutter, I'll cut into slabs. From there, I draw out the patterns, and then it goes to my bandsaw, which I actually cut it out. From there, I'll take my cut pieces, like let's say I had finished cutting this out with the bandsaw, then I would use this machine to actually round off the edges. So from there, once it's done, I would sand it with 6 sandpapers. I'll take it to my buffer. Once I get that shined up, I take it to my beating table.
While the tools of carving have changed, the finished product is still an amazing work of art. And like his father had once taught him, he's keeping tradition and teaching his daughter Amber, who helps inspire his designs.
Asked her, Nan, you need to help me out. You need to help me figure out what we can add to the hook to make it more unique.
A fine arts major at the University of Guam, Amber has been practicing carving for 2 years now.
For me, I don't really speak the language, and sometimes I feel a little embarrassed. But sometimes I feel connected to my culture from learning how to carve.
Though she admits it can be difficult, she wants to continue as well.
When I do graduate from UOG, I plan to be more engaged in what my dad does and hopefully stick to it.
For the Pangalinans, carving is a family affair and a way to feel connected to their Chamorro heritage.
And I'm glad that my son passed it down. This is what I call now passing it down from me, my son, and to my granddaughter.
Reporting for Celebra y Chamorro, Guahusi Kiani Mendiola, Dan Biba Mes Chamorro.
Sports is coming up next, but first here's weather.
We know how life can be when you're young, wild and free. That's why GTA hooks it up with the best phones at the best prices to keep you living life to the fullest. Get the Motorola Moto G4 for free, and Alcatel A3 XL for only $49, or the Samsung Galaxy A8 for only $99, with a $50 per month unlimited talk and text plan, including 5 gigs of high-speed data. Visit gta.net or a store for details.
We're celebrating our 135th anniversary today, both in the outlying regions on which we hub and also here in Guam itself. It means so much to our team here in Guam. It means a lot to us in the Matson management team, because what it says is we're here to stay. It's a real physical manifestation of our commitment to this region. It's so important that we hire locally, we develop talent locally, we train locally. What's been a wonderful addition to our approach there is that many of the people who started off in Guam have gone off into significant leadership roles elsewhere in the company.
This is our headquarters here in Guam in Micronesia. And when we talk about putting down our roots, it's not just doing business, it's about everything we do with our friends, our customers, and our employees. I believe that nobody can replicate what we do, and that's why we have such a great team and such a great service and why we're successful. This is our home, this is our life, and we're happy to make a difference in everyone else's life.
Join the most excellent of egg hunts at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam on Tuesday, March 27 from 3 to 7 p.m. Pre-register for the right age group in one of the 4 egg hunts per hour. Call 647-4544 or stop in the restaurant and sign up at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam.
The 2017 Nissan Titan and Frontier. Now with Nissan Intelligent Mobility, featuring technologies that help you get to the fun faster. Take on today. Get to your local Nissan dealer for great offers like this.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports, brought to you by Triple J. The Bud Light Women's Soccer League held semifinal matches at the GFA National Training Center in Harmon. I'll get to the 2 teams heading to this year's championship game in just a bit. But first off, alumni basketball from the Elite Center in Teason. Check it out. Sharks in 16, getting their ball on at the Elite Center in Teason. Rebound by the Sharks. Possession going the other way. Bransel NG straight to the rim. Contact on the play as the defender tried to draw the charge. Basket's good. Nice take by 16's Nathan Sablon. Sablon dragging his foot on the little 1-2 step. Justin Andre with the rebound. Pass to Jerry Giritimarang, who dribbles down court. Pass to Drew Velasco for the pull-up jumper. Sanchez with the double-digit lead in the second half. Gavin LG with the steal. Dishes the ball to Sublime, who was wide open, chilling baseline. No defender in sight. Sharks get the W and will now face the undefeated JFK Islanders on Sunday. Ben Whitaker pulls down the rebound and feeds Jay Casemiro down low for the left-handed reverse lay-in, putting just enough spin on the ball to get the roll in. Daryl Shandor finished with 11 points. Teammate Jeff Manalastis added 9. Roland Balahaja led 16 in the loss with 10 points. Ocean View Southern taken to the court next to play ND Dank Junction. Pete Sanchez to Eric Regis for the three-pointer. Regis put up a game-high 16 points. Austin Tenorio clapping back for ND. Frankie McJohn with the assist to Tenorio. Drano on the deep ball. Frankie McJohn dribbles right and uses the screen to create some space. Pulls up and buries the mid-range jumper. 8 points in the game for McJohn. John Chaco passed to Pete Sanchez to Ron Tidegui. 3 from a couple of feet from behind the line. Shooter. Jared Meno scored a team-high 12 points. 2 off the layup here as he gets around the defender for the finish. Ocean View Southern hold on for the win, 54-47. John Chaco seals the deal with the bucket. Teammate Roki Charfris chipped in with 15 points. Bud Light Women's Soccer League semifinal matches from the GFA. The Lady Crushers defeated Napa Lady Rovers 5-0. Angelica Paris scored twice. Teammate Skylar Blue Johnson, Kaylani Estoy, and April Toledo added goals. The Lady Crushers have three-peated before, with the most recent in 2013, 2014. The team won the Fall 2013, Spring 2014, and Fall 2014 titles. Guam Shipyard defeated Quality Distributors 4-2 in the other semifinal game and will now face the Crushers in the title game, scheduled for this Sunday at 7 p.m. The St. John's Knights successfully defended their Sugar and Spice Middle School Girls Soccer Festival title with the 4-0 win over the St. Anthony Catholic School Raiders in this year's championship match at the GFA National Training Center. The 11th annual festival, supported in great part by Japan Football Association, featured 12 teams from both the IIAAG Guam Middle School Girls Soccer League and the GDOE Interscholastic Middle School Girls Soccer League. Well, that's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
The 2017 Nissan Titan and Frontier. Now with Nissan Intelligent Mobility, featuring technologies that help you get to the fun faster. Take on today. Get to your local Nissan dealer for great offers like this.
Attention Guam residents, you might receive a phone call from the Department of Public Health and Social Services asking you to participate in the Behavioral Risk Factor Surveillance System Plus survey. This is a legitimate survey to collect health measurements on BMI, blood pressure, blood glucose, and cholesterol from adults 18 years and older. Data will contribute to working towards a healthier island. For more information, contact 735-7289. This message is in partnership with the CDC and Pacific Island Health Officers Association.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $8.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $8.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes! Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas, just $8.99 each. No one out pizzas the Hut.
Triple J says yes. Zero down? Yes. 1.9% financing? Yes. Easy trade-in? Yes. No payments for 90 days? Yes. We'll have you saying yes, too, to these amazing deals. Like our big boy truck, the Ford F-150 at only $217 per paycheck. Or the top safety pick Mazda CX-5 Sport at only $194 per paycheck. Or turn heads in the Mazda 3 Sport or the sleek and sophisticated Kia Soul. Both for only $129 per paycheck. Visit us online at triplejguam.com. Some conditions apply. See dealer for details. Triple J, customers first.
Okay, everybody, we are in the home stretch, and if you joined us on Facebook Live today, you got a super cool surprise, an ad hoc a cappella performance from Dot and Javen, two of the many talented performers from Guam High School who will be putting on the classic musical Little Shop of Horrors this Friday and Saturday at their Agani Heights campus, and we all had a special midday treat with them doing a rendition of the play's signature duet, Suddenly Seymour.
Suddenly Seymour. Showed me I care. Yes, you can. Learn how to be more. The girl that's inside me.
Awesome. What's also awesome is that we learned they're a real-life couple whose characters are, of course, love interests in the play. That is off the charts cool.
Feed me, Seymour. I love that play. We should go. They invited us and they're inviting you, so go and watch our Facebook Live, check it out, and stay tuned because Health, Home, and Lifestyle is up next.
But first, here's our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Happy birthday wishes going out tonight to Gabriel M. Menglotnya, to my firstborn son, I love you, says your family. Happy birthday also to Ariana Dimian Metanani. Happy birthday number 11 from your family. Happy birthday also to Joseph Timinglow, who blows out the candles today. And happy belated birthday wishes all the way out to Lubbock, Texas, to Eva Napati Martinez. I was just teasing. Of course we're never going to forget KUAM birthday shout-out.
Right. Then we're not going to forget Carmen Terlai is up next with Health, Home, and Lifestyle.
Yep.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E.